Harold Spencer Jacobs. I have been sent here by our commissioned government to inquire into and report on the conditions of work and living in these here lumber woods. I am to inquire as to the quality of the lumber camp supply stores and the prices charged therein compared to regular market prices. I have also been tasked with reporting as to the number of families living on public charity while men are at work in these here camps. Now that being said, I am also interested in collecting your opinions concerning the conditions under which you work and making these opinions known. After such, I will make the recommendations I see fit on the subject of employment in Newfoundland forestry operations. I look forward to speaking with men of all degrees of experience.
I knows I'm not excited.
Please see me in the cookhouse at your leisure.
Not much to be excited over.
Go on by. Jake's Jebby got paid in banknotes last year.
What do you want banknotes for? Sure, you still lives at home with your mother.
Well, I don't want to live at home with Mother forever, though, do I?
No. You're not going to get your own outfit working in the woods.
You're allowed to have dreams, Bertie. Dreams ain't dear.
Dreams? Dear? You're a pup.
You're not that much older than me.
I'm your elder, so you best heed me, or I'll tell your mother and she'll give you the belt.
Mother never gave anyone the belt in her life.
Well, I don't know how your crowd ain't got the roof tore off that house over there.
Oh, Grandfather. Grandfather sooner give me that belt and look at you.
Yes, sir. Fair enough man, no?
What do you know about us?
I knows plenty about what's said.
Yeah, it's a queer thing what people chooses to talk about.
How'd you get in so fast anyhow?
Jake's Jebby's right full to go, eh?
I wouldn't expect you till the weekend.
Hobbling around like an old cripple.
It took me the better part of 4 days to walk in.
And some punishment is.
And that's me going to clip, not how you walks like your Grammy.
He and his half-brother had a still for their sister's marriage.
Well now, that's last year's banknotes well spent.
Suppose. It's not what I would spend it on, but I understand the inclination.
Some inclination that is.
Everybody likes to have a drop-on offer at a wedding.
Sounds to me like 'twas more than a drop-on offer.
Yeah, but that's what people are like, though. Overcompensate for when they had near drop, so everyone don't think that you're stingy.
There's a difference between being stingy and poor, Sim.
Yeah, but not really, because most people don't want to be thought of as meaner.
When you leave home to walk in, anyhow?
Day before last.
What, you fly in, did you?
No.
Well, I know you never walked in that fast.
Well, no.
Well, how'd you get in there?
Jebby had a spot in the wagon.
I wouldn't asking about Jebby.
But he got gout.
And what did that got to do with you?
There was an empty spot in the wagon.
Well, Jesus. Jebby give it to you out of the goodness of his heart, I suppose?
Well, no.
You should have walked in.
Who wants to be at that old wagon?
How much you have to give Jebby?
What?
The fare.
I don't know, around,
Round.
Only knows what I paid for it.
And what was that?
5 pound of flour, quart of molasses, pound of beans, pound of split peas.
What are you after getting yourself into at all?
I never had any fare.
Well, who's going to pay for that now?
I will.
You'll be thrown in the lockup now one of these days.
Where you boys by? The other fellas here you don't think I'm criminal. Half of them got grannies from the river. Paranoid Indians to work so with.
You'll be paranoid too now that once you gets a taste of it.
Go on, Bertie. Stop talking like we're going to war.
You'll wish you were going to war.
I wish it's that all the time now, sure. Love to go to war.
Who knows you don't want to go to no war?
I knows I do. I knows I would have.
I don't know how you can say that, Sim. After what happened to your father?
Well, at least Father got to see something before he died or disappeared or whatever. Try never even been to town.
Oh, you'll get down someday.
Yeah, damn right I will. And I won't stop there either.
What do you want to be going around for?
See what it's like, I suppose.
Well, I know you're not as curious as a new barn cat.
I'd rather be curious than scared.
I'm not scared. I'd just sooner be home.
Not me, then. I'm forever thinking about other places. Africa, Asia, I'd go there.
See, that old daydreaming is how you'll end up knee-deep in the brook.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I can't believe your mother allowed you to put the fare on the ticket.
Well,
Your mother didn't allow you to do that.
No, but I'm forever marking stuff down for her. Sybil never even knows the difference.
Sybil Hines is never going to let you mark down anything ever again she finds out.
Mother's not gonna tell on me. She holds us up and everything.
She's stunned then.
It won't matter anyway after I cuts a few cords.
If you cuts a few cords.
You don't think I will?
All I know for certain is that being in collar before you starts means you'll likely stay in collar.
You gotta take a risk, Bob.
A risk, you lot. Right green about everything. Ex-charm you do. Listen here, the youngest man in here is the least experienced at felling wood.
Oh, strongest though. Fastest.
That sim is debatable. What's not debatable is that the skipper is going to assign you the worst chance. I'm talking bog growing up the sides of cliffs. Timber never been touched by man because 'tis impossible for a man to touch.
That's not fair.
No, nothing fair about it. You'll be lucky you gets a clean-up chance, you will.
Well, then I'll make that clean-up spotless. They never seen the likes of it before. It'll shine for all the cutting I do.
You'll be lucky if there's anything at all to cut.
Jesus, you sound right defeated.
Not defeated, just sensible.
Being sensible don't get you anywhere but in some shack furthest from the water well.
And what are you going to be then?
What I'm gonna be is the hardest working man in the country.
You're barely a man at all, Sim.
I'm man enough to be here.
You'd be better off getting your learning.
Learning. Look, some good that'll do you. Look, it's like this, Bertie. I'm gonna be the best at whatever it is I'm at. Because if you're not competitive, you're a loser. I'm not gonna spend my whole life worried to death about not having enough money to pay me bill over the shop. Not having enough pride in my family to make sure they can afford the same Jesus standard of living that every Catholic in town expects. I won't waste myself making some other fella rich while I'm sipping on the dregs of the living. One tea bag per cup of tea, Bertie. Preacher.
Oh, shut up, you're bawling for the scaler hears ya.
The scaler needs us more than we needs him. He don't want to do the things that needs doing. All he minds is counting proper weaklings.
Shh, you darn fool. All you need now is for someone to hear ya.
Who's gonna hear me in the bunkhouse?
Someone who'd like to benefit from you getting your chords counted wrong?
You can't get your cords counted wrong.
Oh, yes, you can. Easy enough, too, when you're exhausted and half-starved. Scaler will say your cord is full of air. Loose pile.
No, sir. My wood is proper pile every time.
That's neither here nor there. They can say your wood is all stained up or full of rot. There's a million ways to get cheated into woods, especially if you got a long tongue.
You'd take the fun out of anything you would.
You just don't know how it is in the world.
I don't know how it was in the world, but the world is after changing. People are allowed to ask for their share now, and I plans on asking for mine.
Yeah, you ask for more than they wants to give you, and you'll get nothing. Thrown to the gods.
Yeah, but who is they, though? To troll me, this is my country.
Newfoundland is not for Newfoundlanders, you fool. You're beasts, boy. Beasts.
Not me.
Find him. Go on, make it harder on yourself. Jesus, you's always bumping up with you's. Say your prayers and get the bed out of it. You got a road to swamp in the morning.
I've been hearing things from the lumber woods, Commissioner.
Yeah, I wouldn't heed gossip from the camps, Percy.
I do not heed gossip.
I haven't heard anything as yet that gave me any cause for concern.
Have you heard anything, though?
Well, no, not yet, but I have been assured that there will be a report forthcoming.
A report?
Yes,
And you no idea what this report's going to say?
I know the general subject
Yes.
matter, of course.
But not specifically what line this Jacobs fellow is going to take.
No, of course not, no, but I can certainly surmise, based on past dealings with him, that he will do his due diligence.
Maybe I don't want his due diligence.
He was instructed to investigate last year's complaints.
I
Nothing
don't
more.
want him out there fueling some riot, especially not now. What with the news out of Britain?
Why does everything have to be about war?
Because it was defiant.
You're sentimental because you were there.
Yeah, and you're not because you weren't.
I have a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, so you say.
I was in the sand for 18 months.
You understand why this business in the lumberwoods is of concern to me, yes?
Of course.
I mean, I know you're new to your position, but I trust you'll respect my years of experience. I was building my company while you were still on the tit.
You exaggerate my youth and inexperience. I'm not that much younger than you.
How long you been in your position?
I have been Junior Commissioner of Public Health and Welfare these past 6¼ months.
Yeah.
Before that, I was...
Appointed?
I beg your pardon?
Appointed. You were appointed?
Yes.
Yeah. Funny thing, appointments. They can be fleeting.
I suppose they can.
You were born here, correct?
Yes.
Attended school here?
Yes.
I attended school in London. Governor Cross was in my year. He's my eldest son's godfather, in fact.
How wonderful.
My father insisted on nothing but the highest order for us. Would remind us we weren't being groomed to leave Newfoundland. Oh, no. He was quite a patriot, my father. You, he would say, are being readied for leadership. Entertain no thoughts of places elsewhere. This island is yours.
Sounds like a very persuasive man.
In his way. Also what some might call a hard man. Very demanding, very intense. Never generous of praise. Rarely heard a complimentary word out of him. Liberal with criticism, though, sometimes for hours.
How unpleasant.
Could be. Was also very informative. My father, he did everything without regret. Business deals, hunting trips, spending sprees. He was relentless, even in celebration. Died before his time. Too much success.
How unfortunate.
Yes, a national tragedy. And you? Your father still with us?
Yes, he is.
We heard him often growing up. An ambitious man.
Yes, he is.
Didn't quite reach his potential, though. Didn't quite meet his ambitions, huh? Why do you think that is?
I don't think that way of my father.
Oh, how do you think of him?
I respect him a great deal for his accomplishments. And he's not dead yet. Who knows what he will go on to do?
Oh, of course. Likely had aspirations for you as well. I know my father certainly had ambitions for me. I think it's a gross injustice to be a disappointment to your father, regardless how absent he is.
Some would say it grosser still to be a disappointment to your country.
Country? The concept of statehood, Wishart, is arbitrary, forever changing, and elusive. Wealth, my man, everyone knows is the thing. Decisive, boundless, and constant. Wealth, my man, is the thing. Wealth and land.
And what about God?
God, what about him?
How does he factor in?
You sound like my wife. Next you'll be asking my allegiance to the king, huh?
Yeah, I suppose I might.
Yeah, well, if you did, I'd say I think family feuds are bloody folly. I don't care who any of the imbeciles bed. I'd kill my cousin in a second if he threatened me.
Oh, I pity your cousins.
Yeah, you should.
I loved my cousins as a child.
Yes, but cousins are always warring.
Oh, just because they always have been doesn't mean they always will be.
Go on. The world is beyond sharing. Cousins just recognize it first.
Yeah, perhaps. We were all friendly until grandmother died.
Yeah, after that?
We fell out over the state of it. Binoculars, sewing machine, brass mirror in the front foyer.
Everyone is believed to be favored, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you have a will?
Excuse me?
A will. Do you have one? You should. I do. I own everything east of Riverhead and south of Rennie's Mill. Anything worth owning is mine. I parceled it out quite finely. Each of my children will receive a neighborhood to do with it whatever they like, or nothing at all if it pleases them. There's only so much land, you know, and it'll never be cheaper than it is right now. Just as I am the oldest, I will never be right now.
You'd make a great orator, I think.
Yeah, I make a great many things, but my first name is Loathsome.
Stuart.
No! Stuart's a sturdy, respectable name, fine name, distinguished, yeah. But you could never be a Stuart in Newfoundland politics, oh no. They would insist on calling me Stewie. Stewie, God. As though you're old school chums, you know? As though I'd come round to their house for a cup of tea and a hand of rook. Yeah, Philistines. They expect their leaders to be their social equivalent. You know, the whole undertaking is preposterous. If any man was going to lead me, I would insist at the very least he be my intellectual superior. Stewie. Stew. Reminds one of a tepid bowl of common root vegetables, cooked to death and drowning in heaps of lumpy gravy, 3 days on the back of the stove. The last rabbit leg practically glued to the side of the pot with congealed fat all the way around the rim. God, who'll get it, huh? Who'll get the last bit of protein in the house? Why not give it to our guest, Stewie?
Oh, my goodness, I am famished. Have you eaten?
My name is Harold Jacobs. I'm here to inquire into the conditions in these here lumber woods, the quality of the camp supply stores, and the prices charged to woodsmen. But more than that, I am interested in what you have to say concerning your lot in life. But please do not be fearful of negative ramifications. I look forward to speaking with all of you, every man of every experience, but do not be worried. I guarantee no man brave enough to have this vital discussion will meet any hostility from the camp skip or the company. Our discussion will not, and I repeat, will not result in refusal of future employment. No harm will come to you or your family. Please see me in the cookhouse, Easterly Cookhouse. I will await you there all night if need be.
If I could scrape together a few coppers, I'd give this.
Give up talking so loose.
Well, I would.
Aspiring to become a hang ashore.
Just because you're ashore don't mean you're not at anything. Jesus, there's other things we could be at.
Like what?
I don't know, offhand.
No, you don't. Neither do I.
It's a lie for me.
Well now, telling lies already. We're barely in the woods 2 weeks, and you're after getting uncivilized.
I knows exactly what I'd sooner be at.
I'd sooner be home in the bunk with Kizzy.
Does that some lot lately?
I'm bringing in a bedroll next year. These, Jesus, Max is lousy.
Says I don't know what's in me own mind when he writes it. I knows exactly, but I don't want to say it or something like.
Men not supposed to sleep out.
Sometimes I think if I could just save a little.
I hate these fucking uncomfortable bunks.
I knows I wouldn't be here with no better than tack and tea. That's for sure.
You're right tiresome to talk to, Sim. And I'm too tired to talk to you.
I don't like being treated like a dog by some prick from the Cove. Thinks he's better than me just because he's skipper.
He is better than you, 'cause he's skipper.
He's not dead. He's not better than you either. It's that kind of lame thinking that gets people in trouble.
Running your long tongue off is what's going to get you into trouble.
Not allowed to have thoughts anymore, is I? Not allowed to think about anything.
Think about what you like. Say nothing.
Right. Say nothing. Just swing and swing, watch for fallen trees, but say nothing, saw wood. That's a shit life strategy.
I told your sister you wasn't old enough to be in here. You're not in the pants, and you're not in the woods now half a month, and you get your pants half tore off with the bucksaw.
That was poor luck.
Yes, now your luck has turned sour, and you got to keep at it.
I don't got to.
Oh, yes, you do. And you might as well face it. You're in the red so far, you might as well be on the rag. Now, you got to figure some way of getting cords out of that scrub spruce, or you'll have to walk home half naked.
It only takes one good year.
One good year. See, you talks about it like someone who's never had to wait for it. You could be 10 years waiting for that one good year.
Uncle Merv was saying
Your
that
Uncle
this year.
Merv thinks that every year is going to be a good one. Every year he's going to land the most fish he ever landed and cut the most wood he ever cut.
What are you getting on with? You had the biggest kind of year over Labrador last year. Everyone was talking about it.
Still got an cent to me name.
Record-breaking, they said.
See that right there? It's something you got to put right out of your mind.
Wow.
Breaking records.
Nothing wrong with a bit of healthy competition, bud.
Men obsessed with breaking records end up breaking everything in their path. Every man who ever broke a record on purpose broke another man to get there. And that ain't nothing to be proud of.
Who'd you break?
What?
Last year. Who'd you break?
I almost broke myself.
Yeah, break. Go on with your humble brag.
No, really. Last summer. Down to Labrador. I was reckless. I loaded that boat down where she was hardly afloat. If the wind had a puff up at all, if there had been the tamest breeze from the northeast, we would have been in the bath. I gave myself some fright. Your Uncle Merv laughed his head off, but it wasn't for humor. He said, "Don't tell Kizzy," but I knew he meant don't tell anyone. And I didn't have to tell Kizzy, because she's smart enough to know better. She was vexed the moment we come in sight, saw how low the boat was riding in the water. Sure, she was on the wharf throwing rocks at us, yelling, "You son of a bitch," and every other curse word come to her. She learned to swear from your pop.
But what's wrong with her?
She was right. I was reckless. He was stunned. Sure, I can't even swim the length of myself.
It must have been embarrassing, no?
Yeah. Our Kizzy's known for throwing rocks.
She's some hard case, boy.
It feels like I could throw my guts up every time someone mentions last summer.
Bertie.
Greed is a dangerous thing.
You can't be greedy and starve to death at the same time.
Of course you can.
Oh, I knows I'm not hungry. I'd love something sweet. A little peppermint knob or something. I'd eat the stuff stuck to the bottom of Granny's handbag now, I would.
I wouldn't just talk about my own greed or yours. I was talking about, like, greed in general. I mean, I don't know. What would you do? Say if you did scrape them coppers together.
I'd open my own shop.
A shop.
Yes, sir. I'd go into business for myself. I'd eat so many goddamn candies.
You can barely keep track of yourself, Sim. You get me to count your cords every evening. How are you going to manage all the accounts in the Cove?
I won't have to.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what you'd have to do.
No, sir. And that I won't. Because Minnie Caines is good at maths. Got fine tits. Let me press up against her at the time. So I pretty much got that sorted.
Minnie Caines.
Yep. Yes, man, she's the one. Keep me drawers clean, keep me balls warm, keep me book straight. Minnie Caines.
And do Minnie Caines know she's going to be your bookkeeper?
Nah, I'm minding me time. Can't go putting stuff into women's heads. Should I hold you to everything you say, sure, even when you're drinking?
Yeah, that's the truth. Kizzy would write it down if she knew how. Playing back, word for word, some old foolishness I used to get her in the bunk.
That's what I mean. Mother is forever repeating stuff Father used to say. Then she's off crying in her apron, talking about the hardships of birth. Nothing is worse than listening to your old ma talk about sore nipples. Ooh, yuck by.
She'll get over it one of these days.
I don't know. Jake's Margaret never come around after their Joe drowned that time.
It's different, though. When a youngster dies.
I hope so.
I suppose everyone's doing all right at home.
Of course they are.
Little one had a head temp before I left to walk in.
Babies is always sick and voluntary.
Yes, but Kizzy.
Kissy? You're not worried about Kissy. She's as strong as a bull moose.
She's expecting again.
Christ, Pie, didn't you just have a youngster?
I hates to be away from her when she's all miserable, thrown up.
Kissy is always miserable. That's her way.
The way I figures, I need close on 200 cords to make up for the new baby. Why, it'd be good to be kept on. Haul that wood out. I could probably manage one of them Clydesdales.
I hate horses. Big Jesus Canadian horses, they're the worst.
Really?
They're so damn big. Not like a good pony doll high off the ground and foul smelling.
Oh, you don't smell too hot there yourself.
Better out and in.
For who?
Cookie swell. I wouldn't eat them Jesus prunes if there was anything else resembling a piece of fruit or veg around.
There's taties enough.
Well, taties is just starch dough, isn't it?
Yes, well, I told you.
Yeah, that don't make it better. I knows I wouldn't like a biscuit. Drop a juice or something. I'd give me left ball for a bit of jam bread.
There's berries all around, sure.
Berry picking is a woman's job. And even a wood, when do I get the time to pick berries? Me whole chance is choked full of falling trees. Walking through feels like a horde of perverts hauling at me clothes. Should look at me pants. I got them held together with a piece of twine that I had to pay for. I got neither scent or smoke left. It's disgraceful.
Cutting his hard on clothes.
I hates this sock. Don't cut for shit.
That's because you don't care for it right.
I cares for it. I do. I basically pleads with it. I'm after naming the damn thing for Christ's sakes.
What? What's it called?
Beatrice.
Why Beatrice?
I don't know.
Why not Minnie if you're so gone on Minnie?
Oh no, not Minnie. Gotta keep that separate. That's pure. I'm not taking Minnie up with Beatrice's poor humor. She's vengeful by Beatrice. I feels like we didn't get off on the right foot at all.
You're touched, Sim.
I says to her, Beatrice, just go true. Come on, I'll give you some rub down tonight if you'll just sat through that there branch. But do she go true? No, she don't. Cause she's a dirty, dirty whore.
She's dirty because you don't clean her. You can't leave her covered in sap all night and then expect her to put out in the morning. That's fool's logic.
Is it? I don't know if it is. She'll be the ruination of me.
You'll be your own ruination. I never seen a more unhandy young fella. Don't make no sense to me. Your sister is right agile.
Well, do make sense though. Cause I never had to do anything. Now, I got no one, and I don't know how to do anything. I can't do anything right now, but I don't even know how to clean beaches.
Jesus, pass it here, I does it for you. Quick, for everyone sees.
I didn't think this would be this hurt.
Well, that's foolish. Everyone knows working in the woods is the worst thing in the world to be at.
But everyone does it. Even the old-timers cut their own firewood.
Yes, but they knows what they're at, whereas you... What you wants to do is be more observant.
I'm plenty observant.
No, you're not. I mean, you're going around with your eyes peeled, but your tongue is forever wagging. It don't stop, sure. You distract yourself.
I got a lot of ideas though, right? Swarms.
All fine and good, but no one's gonna pay you for your ideas. You can't eat ideas.
Jesus, wouldn't that be something, Bertie? If you could get paid for ideas.
Yes, well, unfortunately for you, it's not something. So, you got to watch what you're doing and what others are doing. Like, when the skipper is doing something, you should be watching him because he's the skipper for a reason. And when you're in the cookhouse, knock off chawing the cookie. You're not going to learn how to butt wood talking about beans.
Fucking beans.
Take care of yourself.
Beatrice.
Take care of Beatrice better. She's your friend.
What if I can't pay back the fare?
You will.
But what if I can't?
Don't be thinking about that right before bed.
But will they lock me up?
You'll give yourself the night terrors.
We're tormented about it.
Worrying about it is only going to make it worse.
What am I gonna do though?
Get some sleep. And then get up in the morning and cut a cord of wood. And do that the next day, and the next day, and the next. Until you goes home.
Wish I was going home now.
Well, you're in here for a while yet. So you might as well make a go.
Suppose.
Night then.
Night. Bertie,
What?
I knows what people says about Father. Linda heard the old-timers talking over to the wharf, saying how many young fellas never showed up for roll call, how they was just missing, just poof, vanished or whatever. Linda said, almost sounded like they was wagering that Father run off.
Don't pay any mind to old fellers talking. They got nothing better to do than spin a yarn.
I know, but I can't help but think on it. Like, sometimes I imagine his father not dead. Like he never died over there, because the regiment never sent back any proof, like a body, or even a hand or a foot, or even a bit of face or something.
so morbid.
Picture's father alive in Italy somewhere. And at first I'm right to believe he's not dead. He never got blown to pieces. That feeling don't last very long. Only a couple minutes, And I starts thinking on how he might be after getting another woman and having another family. Because they says there's some real nice spots over there with colorful flowers, and sandy beaches, and fruit just growing on trees wild. And I picture Spotter over in the sunshine, happy. And I thinks I'll kill that bastard if he's after abandoning us here dirt poor, leaving me to mutter under grief. I'll kill him. Ain't that funny? It's like I don't want Father to be dead, but I'll hate him if I finds out he's alive. Ain't that queer? Bertie? Albert, you asleep? Right on by. Thanks for listening.
Supports my suspicion entirely.
Suspicion?
That your incompetence will cripple the progress of the entire country.
I have the slightest...
That and your complete disregard for our previous conversation, plus the fact that you openly admit to not expecting me, the lack of forethought demonstrated by that scandalous, dare I say, treacherous document. I'll have you up on charges for this display.
Percy, I have no idea what exactly has provoked such an undignified outburst.
That damn slanderous report's what's undignified.
I don't know what report you'd be speaking of, considering no report has yet been issued.
I don't wait for reports to be issued, fool. I own the paper your damn report's written on. I own the trees in the forest and the water in the river. You think you can keep something like this from me? Your degenerate mind is less evolved than the cretins you're meant to represent.
Mr. Percy, I will not stand for this kind of behavior. Please make yourself understood or remove yourself from my office immediately.
How did you think I might respond to the unfounded accusation?
I did not expect a response at all, considering no report has yet been finalized.
But I've read such a document, haven't I? Just as you've read such a document, haven't you?
I have read an incomplete draft that is yet to be edited for public consumption.
No editor in the Commonwealth who could render that preposterous document even partially digestible.
The document you've seen is merely a draft. Jacobs has not even finished collecting relevant facts.
Relevant facts? Ha! The whole undertaking is an absolute farce. This man, this Jacobs, he's off questioning every greedy beggar on the island, as if they'd have anything valuable to contribute concerning an operation of this magnitude, as though their illiterate minds can comprehend the complexities of modern industry. Good God in heaven. The fact that I have to bother with such matters is a waste of my incredibly valuable time. Do you have any idea how valuable my time is, Commissioner, do you?
I don't see how that...
Imagine the dollar value now of every word I've spoken. Imagine I bill you that amount. I should bill you for this very conversation.
You're obviously in no state to speak rationally, so I suggest...
You do not make suggestions to me. That is not the situation we find ourselves in, nor will we ever find ourselves in such a situation. Your children, your grandchildren, your grandchildren's children, no one of your kin will ever be in a situation to give suggestions to mine. We are so far ahead of anywhere you'll ever reach in your lifetime, there's no catching.
Percy, that's ridiculous.
Why? Why is that ridiculous? We are so far ahead that the generations will come and go and the Percys will still be making the decisions.
I don't see how that has anything to do with anything. Of course I was taught manners.
Oh, really? Well, they wouldn't say it from the way you're interrupting. Maybe you're incapable of these skills. My father supposed as much. Too long among the savages will make you feeble-minded, he'd say.
Your father had a lot of singular ideas.
My father didn't suffer fools, and neither will I. You hear me? I would not be bullied by a pack of uneducated derelicts. I'd sooner have every tree in Newfoundland rot where it falls than to be intimidated by the likes of Harold Jacobs and his great unwashed.
Letting the trees rot would serve no one. The whole of the country would become overgrown and useless in a matter of years.
Your point?
You'd be endangering your own livelihood by behaving so spitefully.
You really are naive if you think there's any danger in it to me. There's no danger to me. I'm wherever the prophets are. If they're in the mountain, I buy the mountain. If they're in the river, I buy the river. If they're in the forest, all the better. I already own the forest. Your government sold it to me, and I'll do with it whatever I want.
I have to assume that the statements you made here today are the result of great duress. And not of some misguided ill will toward the men in your employ?
The men in my employ, though hardworking, have never gotten ahead. They lack the foresight to better themselves, and are therefore at the whim of forces far greater than their collective whims. This is natural selection. I will not feel guilty over being selected, although what I think is of no concern to you. Just do your job.
My job is to represent the people.
Oh, represent indeed. Let's clarify that point. You represent a group of individuals who are my source of labor. Without me, they've got no livelihood, no way of feeding their miserable wives or feeding their bawling babies. So you see, Commissioner Wishart, you represent a group of individuals who depend solely on me. And as their symbolic head, you too depend solely on me. So the only position for you to take at this juncture is to muzzle that ignorant lout you've appointed. Now you take that position and maybe we won't encounter the work stoppage that such an irresponsible document will likely cause.
Work stoppage or closure?
Oh, call it whatever you like. Strike, riot, raid. Why are there so many English words for insolence? Hell! Maybe I'll replace the whole lot of them with Chinamen, what? They got more chicks up along the railway line on the continent than they know what to do with. I'll be doing Mackenzie King a favor.
Don't be ridiculous. You can't propose bringing in foreigners during austerity.
I'll do whatever I like.
The increase suggested did not seem unreasonable, Percy. They just want a chance.
What chance? A chance.
Percy.
They're just as God made them. 'Tis useless to aid them. The brutes do not ask for reform. Intellectual feats are all wasted on beasts who just want to be fed and kept warm.
Percy, please.
So let them keep their allotted position besotted and blind. When you bid them advance, these ignorant asses, the underworld classes, will say all they want is a chance. James Overton, fine fella.
I thought you were not one for poetry.
I'm not. It's a favorite of mother's.
I guess there's no accounting for taste.
My family has been a pillar of this community for a century. Children would follow my father down the street like the Pied Piper, always their grubby little hands reaching for his pockets. And he was generous, Senior Mr. Percy. He believed in this notion of a sacred trust, that it was the duty of those in power to ensure that a nation is worthy. You believe in duty, Commissioner?
Entirely.
Yeah. These same children will come to our house, Christmas, Easter, push open the big cast iron gate, come right up to the big house. And Father let him in too, when he was in his cups. Parade them around the dining room, you know. There's the candlesticks, and this is the grandfather clock. Everything of a particularly high order. Sometimes he gave him our presents right out from under the tree. Mother hated that, of course. She's far too civilized for such behavior. The night it ended in tears, Father halfway to New York. Gone for weeks sometimes.
Some men are cursed.
Yes, cursed with some obligation to charity that inevitably leads to disappointment.
Now, the curse I was referencing...
I know the curse you're referencing. God, it's disheartening how gullible you are.
Gullible?
Yeah, you believe them. They wrap it in the foil of learning because it speaks to your higher principles. But the Newfoundland man doesn't want education. Never met a more intellectually lazy crowd in all my travels.
That is totally unfounded.
It is founded then. My father wasted his life trying to better the poor fisherman, the desperate sealer, and every other man in the country. Where'd they get him? Nowhere. Quick to the grave.
Your personal loss may be impeding your judgment.
And your ideals are impeding yours.
And how is that?
Ignorance, my man, is what the masses want. Ignorance and steady work.
Well, it seems we don't agree on the wants and desires of the common man.
Oh, is that so? Okay, well, you tell me then, huh? You tell me, what is it you think the toiler wants and desires?
Well, I think that determining one's own fate, regardless of circumstance, is a universal one.
Yeah.
Now, in Newfoundland, that requires a return to responsible government.
Newfoundland will never again self-govern.
Why would you say such a thing? The commission was always a temporary measure.
God, you really are a fool. A mere puppet on the string.
Now hear this. You have insulted me at every turn. Your hostility is blatantly obvious.
How perceptive.
Yeah, I doubt I've done anything to warrant such misconduct and disrespect.
Get a grip on yourself, man. You sound as cross as a woman.
Mr. Percy,
Just hold your weak tongue momentarily, and I'll enlighten you. Lord knows how you managed thus far.
I presume I have no say in whether or not I require such enlightenment.
You and your presumptions matter for nothing. And this commission government is only a facade. When all is said and done, Newfoundland will enter a union. It is now only to decide whether we arise one morning a state or a province. That's it.
What of London?
London? What of it? London cares nothing for our gloomy little town. We were never more than a fishing outpost to the Brits. Oh, sure, they'll parade that tartan or prince around to flood the streets with sentiment. But where are the bricks and the mortar, huh? They're not here. Those tinderbox houses up and down Gower Street scream London's opinion of us. Any man who thinks otherwise is soft in the head. And the Canadians, whom your docile young detective friend prefers, are worse. Sure, their contempt for us is so palpable, any cultured man would take offense. But your Jacobs is no cultured man. No, by God, he's as guileless as a schoolgirl now being stroked for the first time. They'll love to see him coming. He's wet for Confederation. Worse than that miscreant newsman from Gambo, your Jacobs. This honest, thorough fellow of yours is already looking to whore himself out for a position in the new cabinet. You didn't know that, did you? You know nothing. You're purely ornamental. No better than a bauble in a lady's hair.
How do you... Who told you this about Jacobs?
Everyone, this is common news as the weather. It'll rain, drizzle, and fog, and Harold Jacobs will line his pockets with Canadian coins, if he gets a chance.
Will he?
Not if I have anything to do with it, he won't. No, by God, I'm for the Yanks. Not afraid to spend a buck. They put their money where their mouth is, huh? The way I look at it, New York and Newfoundland are practically relations as it is. They were reared up together.
You want us to wake up proud Americans.
I want us to wake up proud Newfoundlanders. But that's a fantasy. And you'll find I'm a realist.
There's nothing realistic about hitching yourself to a side that doesn't care.
And there's nothing realistic about hitching yourself to a side that doesn't exist.
The Dominion of Newfoundland exists.
Oh, on paper, maybe.
In the hearts of the people.
Oh, and how would the hearts of the people serve them? Spur the soldier onto the battlefield to bleed for the crown. A waste. You mind out now, you don't get left behind to die.
Is that a threat?
I'll decide what they want. I'll decide what they get. These are the things I will do on the boss. Not them, not you. You understand?
Yes, quite clearly.
Good. Then deal with it.
I'm Harry Jacobs. I've been traveling in the country these past 8 weeks. I have been tasked with assessing the conditions in these here lumber woods, the quality of the camp supply stores, the prices charged for woodsmen. Our government took a great risk standing by the empire in its hour of need. The regiment paid the price. A generation cut down, timber. And what do we get in return for our loyalty? A bill. It is my belief that it is we who are owed a great debt. I believe that the woodsman is deserving of remuneration for the uncles lost, the fathers taken, the babies never born.
The individuals you've been speaking to in these camps, they're incredibly hard-pressed at the moment.
Hard-pressed is an interesting choice of words.
These are uncertain times we live in.
More uncertain for some than others, I understand.
Oh, you seem to understand very little.
And if that is indeed the case, I will be the first to admit it, obviously.
Obviously. Huh? Listen, we need the continued investment. The war debt has put us in a very tight spot.
Oh, funny that. War debt.
How can the words war and debt warm the cockles of anyone's heart?
I meant funny in an ironic sense. You are familiar with irony, are you not?
I don't preoccupy myself with searching it out in every nook and cranny like certain people I know.
That debt will likely cost us our sovereignty. Mother London certainly has a vulgar sense of gratitude.
I would have been honored to stand broadside and run the Kaiser down.
Oh, maybe you would have stood broadside, but you would not have felt honor.
Speak plainly already. I haven't all day for your riddles.
The quality of manpower in our country is pitiful. Soldiers, half-starved and poorly dressed. There was no honor in it.
Go on! The talk was all of the bravery of the Newfoundland man, his resourcefulness.
Oh, is it bravery? I don't know that it is. Overcompensation is more apt, and an attempt to hide how inadequately prepared we were, in body and mind. Training alongside the Canadians just stood to prove the fact. They were magnificent. We were impoverished, as we are still.
You, sir, seem to be suffering a very severe case, coveting thy neighbor's house.
And why shouldn't I? I deserve to live in that house. Every man, woman, and child on this island deserves to live there.
Which is exactly why we must not interfere with the natural development of industry. Next time will be better suited.
Next time?
Of course. There's always war.
Because of improper distribution.
Oh, you've been reading that German fellow again.
He's Russian, actually.
We don't live in Russia.
I don't know that we differ so terribly from the Russians. Certainly, our populations suffer the same stimulating diet.
Come now, you almost sound like you admire the Bolsheviks.
I do think Tolstoy has merit.
Yeah, a lot of womanish nonsense.
Womanish nonsense!
The Canadians have outlawed it. It's practically grounds for deportation.
Reading War and Peace does not make one a communist.
Yes, well, a lot of bad characters seem interested into it.
I really do suggest you read a book occasionally, Commissioner. It will do wonders for your worldview.
I've no time for your pleasure reading. Some of us are busy running a government.
And just who is running this government, exactly? Appointed cronies, plutocrats?
Yeah,
No, just to say, what kind of government votes itself out of existence?
We're $100 million in debt, Harry. Over that, actually. Do they write about that in your fictions? Has your genius Tolstoy outlined an economic plan to deal with such a staggering figure? Surely, share it with me if he has. I am all ears. Nothing to say. Yeah, I suspected as much. You liberals with your fundamentals and your fantasies, read a book, you say. I say do the math. Without this investment, production grinds to a halt and people starve.
People are starving now. They starve while other people, not of this land, reap unjust fortunes from their labor.
Of this land! Listen to your rhetoric. Who is of this land?
The fishermen, the woodsmen, the
They
seamen,
are from
the
Devon
miners.
and Shannon and every other godforsaken town across the kingdom.
I think you will find they disagree with that
Would
statement.
disagree for disagreement's sake?
Hardly.
The toiler would uproot at the first mention of opportunity elsewhere. They're not held here by any fantastic loyalty. They cross land and sea for steady employ. It's we who have to hold them.
But who are we to hold them? Huh? What would make you think us their better?
Perspective. We can see the forest for the trees, which is why it's imperative we know those stories coming out of the lumber woods.
Suggesting they are stories feels rather dismissive.
Oh, must you be so difficult?
Must you be so patronizing?
You could find fault with any word spoken that does not align with your own.
Surely when I am correct and the words spoken are so clearly meant disrespectfully,
I meant no disrespect.
then you are ignorant of how far afield you have been led, or in denial. Whatever the case, you are speaking of men like they are children. It is appalling.
Well, forgive me for upsetting your sensitive nature. Had I known your girlish disposition, I would not have hired you to find out the circumstances for me.
I will find out the circumstances for the people who genuinely belong here.
No one belongs here. Perhaps the Indian once, But he has long since relinquished his hold upon the place.
Relinquished by brutal means.
Oh, you are particularly galling today, more so than usual.
I was just stating a fact.
Whatever the cause, the island and its meagerly tenants belong to nothing, and nothing belongs to them. Good day, sir. I was not expecting you just yet.
Yeah, well, I'm ready now.
Right then, have you met Harold Jacobs, huh?
Not officially, no.
Who might you be?
Stuart Percy Jr. of,
Stuart J. Percy and Sons.
You're familiar with my family's company.
Yes, most people are. I have to be.
Of course, of course.
And how is it you come to know who I am? Lowly civil servants rarely mix with captains of industry like yourself.
Well, it seems our wives both enjoy advocating for the well-being of little retarded girls.
Well, it's an admirable cause.
Yeah. How is your Catherine, by the way?
Well, thank you.
They say she's quite the beauty.
I believe her to be very fine-looking, amongst many other things.
And your boys are well?
They are smart, healthy boys.
Twins, huh? Fascinating. Once thought demonic.
Yes, in biblical times, perhaps.
and what are they called again?
Charles and Reginald.
Charlie and Reggie, fine names. They're in the same year as one of mine.
Which one?
Oh, who's to say? I've got 5.
Isn't that brilliant for us all?
Expensive undertaking, children.
I find we absorb the cost relatively well.
But you must worry in these uncertain times.
I worry as any father would in any time.
Yeah. I'd like to see my boys attend college. Canada, perhaps. Or abroad. Give them a head start. Competition is fierce these days, what with all the immigrants. Yeah. Your boys be attending college?
And the new baby, of course, whatever the sex.
A girl.
What?
You had a girl child.
A girl.
Sorry, seems so.
But how?
Well, surely you must have sorted that out for yourself already.
No, but she's early.
I mean, this is not your first go-around.
No, she's 6 weeks early.
You'll have more than I if you don't educate yourself on the ins and outs of it.
She was not due until the new year.
Oh my, how distressing.
I was certain. I did the math.
Oh, babies are insistent little creatures.
Is everyone well?
Everyone who?
My wife, is Catherine well?
Oh, as expected, I allow, yeah.
But are they healthy? Are they safe?
Oh, well, there's no one been safe down to St. John's Hospital since the 20s.
Percy, please, tell me everything you know. I need to... Where is a telephone? A telegraph? A wire? Are they well? Please, Benjamin, please.
Harry. They're well. She's called Harriet.
Harriet, yes, after you, I suppose. Your wife must be lonesome.
Harriet.
She was rather large, actually.
My daughter.
Yeah. Had quite a time with your kid. Let's hope she's not ruined.
Why would you say that?
What? Just making polite parley among men, you know.
Polite parley.
Yes, you know, jokes, ha-ha. Where were we?
We were discussing the merit of educating girls.
Ah, yes. Now, my sisters attended a very fine finishing school in Virginia, but I suppose you're thinking more along the lines of academia.
Yes.
Yeah. I attended university briefly.
Did you now?
Yeah, a semester of Brown.
How impressive.
I found it all incredibly dull, so I left.
Brown University was uninspiring.
I didn't see the point of reviewing things I already knew. What do I care for poetry? It's not pertinent. Besides, working under my father taught me more than any university could.
And where did he study?
My father was a self-made man.
Are you not worried that such an insular education might negatively impact your mind?
Not at all. I have every confidence my father's tutelage was equal, if not superior. His legacy proves it.
Legacy, meaning money.
What other meaning is there?
You really should get going if you have any hope of reaching the camp.
Going around the hills, are we?
I was. I should. Yes, I am.
I can't see you ever for.
There are a number of camps I've yet to visit.
Yeah, well, I'll expect you'll find they're very much like the ones you've already seen.
According to the magistrate, the camps beyond the hills are particularly deplorable.
Oh, that's likely due to the high concentration of squaw blood up on the coast.
Well, I can't verify the relevance of that telling statement.
No verification needed. They're all filthy half-breeds up along.
Half-breeds?
Yeah, the mother is dark usually, believes strange things about the ground. They have their babies at home in wash tubs, all very earthy.
Catherine says water is soothing in a birth.
Speaking of water, I've got a mission ship headed up your way. It'd be my pleasure to hasten your little quest, if you'll allow me to do so. Get you back to your wife and family all the quicker.
I expect that would injure what little credibility I have built in the camps.
Oh, what's a little trust in exchange for comfort and efficiency?
I do not think that's a wise choice for my reputation or my undertaking.
A well-rested mind, you know, all the better to grasp the breadth of industry.
I have a grasp as it is.
That's all?
Oh, yes. I think I have comprehended quite liberally what the grand design flaws are in this unforgiving endeavor.
Fine. Walk then.
I hadn't entertained an alternative.
Rather a fan of self-punishment, are we?
I don't follow you.
The game will be in full rout by sundown. You really should make a move.
Yes, do make you move. Oh, and Harry,
Harold.
be careful. Watch your step, Harold.
How's that?
There's all kinds of sinkholes around inside, you know. Mind out now you don't have a great fall. It's a hardship for girls without fathers. Harry to be marked out from the start. Target on her backside.
Well, I don't see the purpose in that.
What do you mean?
Provoking him like that? It's in no one's interest to get Harold Jacobs worked up.
Harold is as rebellious as a feral cat.
I suppose he is rather independent-minded.
My father used to say the only good cat's a dead cat.
But we aren't talking of cats.
No, unfortunately.
They said not to come this way. They said going north, beyond the hills, is pointless. They said you'd have nothing to contribute. But I have traveled by rail, by boat, and by foot to reach you, because I have learned that what they say is often full of half-truths and falsehoods. This very morning, my family was used as a ploy against me. An attempt to pull my heartstrings back to town so that you might never be heard. I resisted this manipulation to me. Such tactics convinced me further still that my search for the facts of it is founded. Please tell me the truth. No harm will come to you or your goal. I swear it. I swear it on my newborn daughter, who I have yet to meet. Look, I promise you.
Bertie! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was an accident. I don't even know how it happened. 1 minute. Look, here. Wrap it in this.
Perhaps in that sheet you'll have no sheet.
I don't deserve a sheet. Come on, go on, take it. It's not too sour. Clean this thing around till he sees the doctor.
I'm not gonna go see the doctor for this.
What do you mean? You gotta see the doctor. I got the biggest kind of gash in your head.
Gas, listen to you, it's just a scrape, sure. It's not a fleshy bit.
I really think you should have it checked out, though.
Yeah, who's gonna pay for that? You?
You knows I got an eater sink by. You knows I'm in the hole.
Yeah. There you go.
I would, though, if I had eater sink. You knows that, right? You knows I would, right?
Yes, boy, I'm only tormenting.
But take the sheet. Use my sheet. I'll feel better about it. I mean, I won't feel better. I'll just feel less shitty because it'll be like I'm making it up for the...
Give me the damn sheet already.
What if it gets infected and festers?
By God, boy, give up. It's just a scratch. I'm after cutting myself out in the boat worse than this 1,000 times.
Yes.
It'll close up. Sure enough. Ah, Christ, it's gonna plague me something terrible the first few days. But after that, it'll be all right. You get numb to stuff after a few years of working.
But all the blood...
Snow's the perfect canvas for blood, sure though, isn't it? Bleeding in the winter's an instant horror show.
Gosh.
I knows your blood would gush too if I put the Jesus bucksaw through your head.
My God, Bertie,
How many times have I told you not to call me Bertie?
Albert, I'm so sorry. You gotta believe me. I never meant... I mean, Beatrice was stuck like that all afternoon. I would have never come to get you. But I was forever thinking what everyone would say if I was after returning to the bunkhouse without her. Everyone already thinks I'm half foolish for calling her by name when I wasn't getting any cords cut. Feet was soaked, the sweat on my body was after getting cold. My body temperature was sheer fluctuating like some old woman going through the change. Damp. I was damp right through to the arsehole, Bertie, all Jesus day long. I got right tormented with the whole undertaking. The chance, the tick, mother finding out, not having any money, can't court me or do anything. I was after getting right low-minded. Half on a cry. Imagine now a grown man out crying in the country. Be the only thing anyone could tell her. Be the only thing anyone told of me ever till I died.
Calm down, boy. I'm sure you wouldn't gonna cry. You're just being dramatic like your crowd goes in for the theatrics by nature. All that Irish on your mother's side, I suppose.
No, really. I was well right up. Couldn't even swear no more for spike fix kind of lump in me throat. Walking to get you was the only thing I could think to do. And I didn't want to interrupt you, I know. You got a new baby coming in, you gotta cut so many cords. Now look what happened. Got your hand all gashed up, help me. Jesus, boy, it feels like a torture.
Sim, you're not a torturer. I mean, you are, but only because you're a Jesus youngster, so you're no more of a torturer than anyone your age.
You're the only person in here pays me any mind. Everyone else thinks I'm useless.
No one thinks you're useless. Don't be so paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. No one in the cookhouse talks to me other than to torment me. Every time I go to sit down, someone's asking me about me cords. Everybody knows I can't make anything out of that chance. No one can clean that up.
They're just goading you a bit. For fun. That's how men is in the woods. Don't take it personal. They wouldn't be at it if you didn't get all worked up over it, but you get right hairy about it every time.
I do not.
Yes, you do. And it's not your fault, though. All the women in your family treats you like a prize, like some kind of invalid prince. They're after making you right spoiled and soft. You wouldn't know now, but you was the only one who ever lost his father in the history of the world. That's why you got no patience for anything, sure?
I got patience. I do. Just worried is all.
What are you worried about? You're a young man, you got nothing to worry about yet.
What about marking down the fair?
Listen, you'll get out in front of that before long.
You said...
I know, but you can't always listen to everything everyone says. And you can't be going around distracted. Stuff like what's after happening here today will be forever happening if you're wandering around with a foggy head.
I'm so sorry.
I know, sure. I knows, we're the same family. I knows you wouldn't do anything to sabotage me chances. Sure, you're too afraid of Kizzy for that.
Kizzy. Kizzy's gonna flatten me, isn't she?
We don't have to tell her, I suppose. We don't have to tell her everything. If you promises to chop me wood this spring after the new baby is born.
Oh, yes. Yes, yup, I can do that. That's something I knows how to do. Chop wood. Oh, saw wood. Well, now that's another story.
You'll get better at it. Wish you didn't have to get better at it. I wish you could open your shop with mini canes. You'd be best kind at something like that. Eating toffees, ordering clothes.
I was thinking about Buddy's coat.
What?
I was thinking, I knows I would like to have one of them wool coats like Buddy had on. And then Beatrice with your hand right savagely.
Jesus, Sim. Don't get any ideas about running that long tongue of yours off.
No, I got nothing to say, sure. It's me first year.
That's right, you don't have anything to say.
I know.
Because being marked out a grumbler won't do you no favors.
Yeah, I know. But how are you gonna get marked out?
Sim!
He said you can go after dark, so who'll ever know?
Go on. Skipper will have the list by the end of the night. Darkness not gonna shade the likes of you from Hawkeyes. And Skipper's got a pair in every tree.
I bet I look smart in one of them coats.
Knock off thinking about them coats. You can't afford one of them coats. Put it out of your mind.
People in town can.
Yes. They got banknotes for stuff like that. Luxury items or whatever.
But how know? I mean, what are they at that we're not at?
Give up that old covenant, Sim. It's gonna drive you to stupidity.
But I feel so mad to be roaming around head to dick in second-hand skins.
You should be thankful you're not going around bare-assed.
Looked right warm, he did. Aunt Rosa, those look like new boots.
There's nothing wrong with the pair of boots you got.
Go on, they're not fit.
You got to learn to be satisfied.
Bertie, there's the biggest kind of hole in the heel. I thought my foot was going to freeze off this morning after I put my foot down the brush.
I told you to keep an eye where you're jumping. You're not going to get anything swamped, jumping and going like you do.
Yeah,
There's
I
brooks
know.
everywhere inside. It's dirty old work.
A little pieces of twigs and shards, nice cutting in my ankles all day long. Jesus, I know it didn't hurt.
You're lucky the sun was warm.
Me boot, filled to the brim like a ladle of mother's soup.
Don't be talking about your mother's soup. He'll be starved to death by the time he gets home, by the way.
Starved now.
Come on, then me heads over to the cookhouse. Or he runs out of beans.
I hate beans.
Yeah, me too.
I wish we never had to go back out to that. It's blowing a gale out there now.
Look at the state of me. I'm gonna have to eat with me left hand, sure?
But I can help you.
I'd sooner have beans all down the front of me than have you feed me, wouldn't I? Jesus, Sim.
Right. Sorry, Albert. Sorry, boy, I'm some stunned.
You're not stunned. You're just a fish trying to climb a tree. Listen, you knows I'd never see you in the lockup, right?
Jacobs of the Port Rexton Jacobs. My father was a fisherman for 40 years. You likely know that, so I feel obliged to say my piece for the poorly informed. I would like to tell you what you do not know, that I have learned of the conditions under which you and your kin are expected to eke out an existence. I have learned this firsthand, and I am appalled at your mistreatment and abuse. I was offered alternative lodgings by a company that shall remain nameless. I was offered these lodgings under the guise that easing my discomfort would ease my recommendations. I did not take them up on their offer because I am in search of the truth. I urge you to speak to me about the challenges you face in your lives. I need you to tell me of your hardships. It is disgraceful that the Newfoundland man has no voice in his country. Yet he who does not speak will never be heard. I have set up a tent in the clearing west of the cookhouse. Come to me under the cover of night. I do not require your name. I just need your words.
Cookie said you was in here? What are you, sick or something?
I'm after catching the damn flu. Cookie had there last week.
How can you know who you caught it from? There's 60 of us sleeping alongside one another. Could have got it off anyone.
I could have got it off you.
You never got it off me. I'm fit by.
You're not fit.
I never get sick. Mother says it was 'cause I was right crazy for the breast. Mother by, always talking about tits and food. Gross.
Food is right, though. That's why I'm sick out loud. Cookies, germs is all over the place.
I couldn't believe it when he told me you was here in the bunker. He said it was 'cause of the snow, and I said, no, bud, Bertie not afraid of a few feet of snow. He must be dying in here to give up cutting for the sun went down.
I'm not gonna tell you again. And I'm not gonna respond either, because I've been told you enough times for you to remember.
Jesus! Albert!
Oh, I froze. Me body aches all over.
I go lie on Roll's buck next to the stove.
Because Roll got the itch. That's all he needs now on top of me flu and me bad hand. Get the itch too. Send me right out of me mind.
Roldo got the itch.
Sure he do.
No, you tell me. His missus is after knitting a new underwear for this old cheap wool she got on a discount. It gets right itchy after it gets all soaked up in sweat. Yeah, he sticks to high heaven. He ain't got the itch.
Oh, you'll believe anything anyone tells you.
Who's paranoid now?
You get our cord today?
Yes, my man. Beatrice is after warming up. You wouldn't know she liked me today. Slide through that old scrub spruce, right saucy like.
That's good. You get a pile, okay?
Yes, sir. I got that knocked down. The old paler hardly rips me off a log. He tries mine. But there's this new fella coming to take over that cleanup chance down over the bank that's worse than me. So everybody's after moving on to torturing him.
What's he like?
Hopeless.
Did that man come back?
What man?
The man in the wool coat?
No, was he supposed to?
You would know, wouldn't you?
Why would I know?
You was the one who was right interested into his coat.
Not interested into it.
He wants one of them coats.
What did that have to do with it?
I knows you're after talking to him, Sim, I know.
I never did.
You did. You did, and now we're gonna be fired.
What are you getting on with?
Because he told me, she said, watch out for poor Sim, watch out he don't say the wrong thing.
I never talked to no one by.
Good. That's good that you never.
I got nothing to say sure anyway. It's me first year.
That's right. And you don't know nothing about it. You's just a pup. Little barn cat.
I don't know what you're getting on with.
You can't get marked out, Sim.
No, bud. Don't worry about it. It's been weeks, perhaps a month since Buddy's been anywhere on this coast.
Your sister is pregnant?
I knows that sure, don't I?
What do you know?
That Kizzy is pregnant.
Did she have another girl?
No, she's still pregnant now.
Kizzy don't know how to read.
So sure none of her crab got higher than grade 3.
I want's better than turning old fish for my girls. Turning old fish all day, every day.
Bertie, you're not making any sense. I mean, I'd swear he was after getting into the communion wine, but there's neither church for mom.
Church! Just for show. Never done any good.
Jesus, Bertie, you listen to yourself. What are you saying?
You listen to me.
Okay.
I don't want to be at this no more.
No one wants to be at it.
I feel stuck inside me life. Like a rat or a mouse. No. Like a shrew. Spineless. That's what I feels like most days. And cold. Oh, I'm froze to death here.
You don't think this got something to do with that hand, do you?
Nah, just a scratch.
Pass it here, eyes look.
I got the flu from Cookie.
Jesus, Bertie, your hand's gone right. When's the last time you cleaned it? Oh,
Listen to me, Sim.
oh, stinks of maggoty fish.
Are you listening?
Oh, my stomach's right turned.
Sim, listen to me.
Yes, look at your hand, Bertie. Come on, come on. Give us a look at your hand.
I joined up, didn't I?
What?
I joined up. That time before. Everyone come back from the war, right hopeful, talking about change. Talking about earning a living wage and building schools. Wasn't gonna leave anyone out. They said we was all gonna be taken care of. They said, Jesus! Careful with me.
Sorry, bye. It's all glued together.
Me and Kizzy was not together no time before I joined. And then, I couldn't sell me fish. None of us that joined could. They wouldn't buy it. Said there weren't a market for it. Said they had more quintals than they could be rid of. Only 2 years for that. And I could get $9 a quintal. That year. None of them.
Bastards.
We had a little one for Alfie. Just one. You don't remember because you was just a youngster yourself. That winter was the hardest winter of my life. We got cut off over to the shop. Oh, Captain Mackenzie said he could take me cod trap off me for some credit, but I couldn't think of it, you know, because I just had to buy it back off him in the spring. So I decided to walk. See the magistrate. tell him I was being singled out for me political beliefs, but I couldn't prove it nohow. He said he'd write a letter to St. John's, like a letter was going to do something for me and Kizzy. Waiting 14 days for relief in that unholy darkness, with not so much as a stick of butter. All that walk-in was a waste. When I got back, cemetery solved our problem.
Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
Kizzy blamed herself. Said she was too late putting in the garden. Everything you does in this life got repercussions when you're poor, Sim.
Albert, I don't mean to interrupt you. I really don't. Your hand's gone right rotten.
Close up any day now.
It's infected right through by
Flesh wound.
I can go find that camp doc.
Sim,
What?
the doc will know how to fix me hand, right?
Yeah, of course he will.
Governor Cross tells me there's real trouble on the horizon.
What kind of trouble is that?
Kind we haven't seen in 2 decades.
No. Well, even to suggest something like that is unthinkable.
There's proof in it, though. The number of kikes applying for immigration to Canada has quadrupled since November. Queers and gypsies, too.
They're fleeing.
Yes, and with good reason, I expect. It's always the way over there. They push too hard. They never know when to ease up. It's a fine balance. You have to know when to say uncle.
Uncle.
You're a character. I'm thinking of expanding ventures. They're going to need a lot of things.
And whom are they precisely?
Whomever.
Ah, yes.
Things will need building. I'm thinking of building those things.
You do own the forest.
I do. And there's money in that construction. I also fancy the thought of my name up on hospitals, barracks, warehouses, Percy on the side of great mills and towers, maybe even a school or two. Children would certainly enjoy that.
Yes, I suppose they would.
I'm proud of you, you know. You proved yourself to be a man who's willing to make the right choice.
What choice did I have?
Exactly. I can use a decisive man like you. Someone looking out for Newfoundland interests after Confederation.
Do you really think we'll join Canada?
I don't think things, I know them. It's only a matter of when.
I mean, how can you know what's in the mind of every man? I mean, surely you can't control how they vote.
No, I can't control, but I can give guidance. You can, too, being a native son and politics and all that. A steady hand. Huh?
How would I provide this guidance?
Less you know about these things, the better. Wouldn't want you compromised.
No, of course not.
You never know where you might end up, you know. Smart, accomplished man like yourself. You might make your father proud after all.
Oh, I doubt that.
Don't doubt anything. You've got clarity of purpose, not like that poor Jacobs, overwhelmed with his own principles, chock full of ideals. It makes for bad friends.
He's just trying to do what is right.
Yeah, which accomplishes nothing. Look where it got him.
I wouldn't underestimate Jacobs.
God. You're generous with him, huh? Less so with yourself. It's baffling. Prosperity is on the horizon, my man. We must anticipate in order to achieve. You know, I see our paths align, you and I.
Big business and politics, how original.
Oh, think of it as a classic partnership, a timeless thing.
Yes, I understand.
Where do you see yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I've never thought beyond St. John's.
Ah, don't be coy. It's boring. Put your ambitions into words. Lay them bare for me, and let's see what I make of it. Huh.
Well, I suppose I would like to be premier, if Canada is the way.
Do you suppose, or would you?
I would.
Good. Good. All right. Now then, have you made many bad friends yourself during your time in politics?
No, not many, just one for certain.
Oh, yeah? Who might that be?
You really need to ask.
Oh, of course. Don't worry about Jacobs. Disillusionment is crippling for a man like that. Guilt even more so.
Guilt has a weight to it.
Righteous outrage is the heavier than the two of them, I'd say.
Harry is meant to be weighed down then.
It's his own choice how he reacts.
Come now, you know that this will vex him.
The hysterics of one insubordinate holds little sway with me.
Surely we must release something, though. Every toiler on the island is aware of the inquiry.
Inquiries have a way of falling from favor.
So, we bury the report?
Bury is rather definitive. Think of this experiment like you would a piece of music, a song.
Currently on the lips of every man, woman, and child in the Dominion.
Yes, and now we turn the volume down ever so slowly. A long fade, till it's no more than a soft hum in the background, a song they once knew the words to. Familiar, yes, but forgotten now for 100 years.
What if they refuse to forget?
Oh, they'll forget. Or become fixated on singing another song. The populace is easily distracted.
Harry won't be distracted.
No, men like that rarely are, but they don't get far.
Because you don't let them.
I don't. But our sons have become great friends. Isn't that funny?
Hilarious.
Either way, Jacob's belief in his own honesty will strangle him.
We have no such beliefs.
Like this. Where's the doc? I thought you was gonna go get the doc.
There's no dock to get.
What do you mean, no doc?
Doc's gone over the lake to the northeast camp.
What's he gone over there for?
There was a fire last evening during the storm.
Fire?
Cookhouse caught alight and spread to the bunkhouse. They was right next to each other.
Oh, Jesus.
Cookie says the bunkhouse wasn't felted right. She felted and put alongside the cookhouse to save on fuel cost. Well, a couple of fellers first from the cookhouse in woke up in the smoke and crawled in from underneath. A lot of time to realize that not half of them was in because of the snow drift. Time they figured out the other cutters were still in the bunk, well, some of them went back in to try and pull them out. You notice now you can see nothing, fire, smoke, snow fall.
How many?
100. More. Twice as many was allowed in a bunkhouse at one time, jammed in like sardines. They're saying that the paper company was going to charge for the doctor. They wouldn't do that, would they? I mean, no, not even a paper company would force a man half burnt to death in the collar like that, right? They wouldn't do that, right, Bertie? Albert, they wouldn't do that to someone all burnt up, right?
I don't know what men is capable of anymore, Sim. I wish I could say they wouldn't if people was better than that. But I can't.
I don't blame Potter if he was after running off.
Your father never run down.
So what if he did? I don't blame him, not a bit. Shrub, I'm jealous. I hate it here.
You don't.
But I do. I don't want to be a beast on me right.
Calm down, boy. I need your help, don't I?
What am I going to help anyone with? I'm useless as tits on a bull.
No, you're not. Now pull yourself together and calm down.
I'm calm.
Is ya?
Yes. I said yes.
Get Beatrice.
What do you want, Beatrice?
Just do as you're told for once in your Jesus life, Sim. Have you been doing a good job maintaining her?
Yes.
I mean, cleaning her like I showed you?
Yes.
Every night?
Yes, but I told you already she's Sa's best kind now.
And you're after improving, hey? You can saw through now?
I dare say I'm all right at it.
How many pulls do it take you?
Depends on how big the timber is on the round.
Something the same as, say, a mug on the round.
I dare say I could pull a Drew on the third or the fourth.
Good. That's fair. Well, this is going to be harder than that.
What is?
You were right.
Plus, what about?
Me hand. It's after getting infected.
I told you should have seen a doctor.
Yes, well, it's all too late for that now.
What do you mean too late?
The infection is in me blood. I feels it like moving. We gotta stop it.
Stop it.
Can't let it reach me heart. Heart rat'll kill the strongest tree in the forest.
Albert, you're scaring me now.
You got to stop it getting any further.
Me? I ain't got no medicine or nothing.
Sure you do.
How's that fine?
We got to stop it moving up me arm and into me heart.
How? No, I can't do that, Albert.
I need you to.
Come on, let's walk out.
No time for that now.
What's Kissy gonna do to me?
What's Kissy gonna do to you? You let me die in the country. It's just a hand. I got another one.
I can't.
It's gonna hurt me worse than it hurts you. Enough! You's the one who put the goddamn bucks out to me hand in the first damn place. So now you're gonna be the one to finish it. So just fucking get on with it. Do it! Do it! I said do it, Simeon. Don't make me tell you again. Simeon John Dredge, I practically reared up your scrawny ass. I took you in when you was right full of the measles. I taught you how to hold a hockey stick. I made your mother cut your Jesus hair that time she was growing it up like a woman. I've been done everything in the world for you. Anything you ever needed doing, so now you do as I'm telling you to. Because this is no dream. This is real life. You says you're a man. Well, I need you to act like a man. Are you a man, Simeon? Are ya? Yes! Say it! I'm a man! Good. Now wipe the snot from your face. Come on, boy, hurry on!
Okay. Okay.
I got it. I'm sorry, Bertie.
So am I.
My name is Harry. The same Harry who slept in bunkhouses alongside the woodsmen in St. George's, in Botwood, Hampton, Lomond, and here with you this past winter. My journey through the lumber woods taught me a great number of life lessons. I felt my body weakened, my spirit lousy, and through all this, I developed even more admiration for my fellow Newfoundland man, for you lot who toil and persevere in order that you might protect your loved ones. I felt the anxiety, the weariness, the longing, the oppression. I felt thoroughly oppressed. And I failed you in that measure, and I am sorry. It is because of that disappointment, because of my new daughter, Harriet, because of all our children, that I stand before you again. There is a great evil in the world. Right now, in a place beyond our sea, scores are being sacrificed because of trees, because of heritage, because of money. That is why I have decided to return to that forsaken place. Why I am determined to never fail you again. So I stand here before you, asking, who amongst you will stand up for what is just? What able-bodied man will attend to the screams of little children, little girls like my Harriet? Who will help them freedom from their lives? Who will help them escape the hellfire they are trapped in? Who amongst you? Who will do what is right?
Me.
I will.